This is the Dan Matheny Show. Hello and welcome. Today we have our special guest, Walter White, on the show. Today we are going to be talking with Walter about life as a gigging musician and talk about his music background and the current group that he is in now. We are now going to cut to a quick commercial break while I get him on the phone. It's Monday here at Matheny Motors. It's the annual Thanksgiving sale. All used cars are no money down. Come down today until 2 p.m. and you get half off. Thanksgiving sale ends the 30th. Tags and title not included. We are back with our special guest, Walter White. Great to have you on the show.
Hey Dan, how's everything going?
It's going pretty good, man. What's the album that got you into playing music?
That got me into playing music. It is hard for me to point to one specific album. I mean, I'm trying to think, some of the first songs that I learned how to play were Ramones songs and Quiet Riot songs.
Right.
When I started playing music with other people, the first bands we would cover were bands like Led Zeppelin, The Who, Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, that kind of stuff.
What instruments do you play?
Primarily bass guitar. Secondary to that, drums and a few projects, guitar, and a little bit of keys.
Right. What situations that come to mind where everyone involved could not get together for a long period of time, but to where you all stayed together and kept going as a band?
Well, I think you just described the band that I'm in right now, Deceased, in which I'm the live bass player. We have not had one practice this year, but we've done about 25 shows.
Right.
Now, there's always been bands that I've been a part of where have been on hiatus and then sort of regroup, every few years. Case in point would be Black Manta.
Mm-hmm.
We, sort of go off and on hiatus and, regroup when it seems like it's the right time to do so and go from there.
I think it takes a lot of coordinating. Some people have families and some people have to work long hours, so it's kind of tough for everybody to get together. But through the years, what other projects have you been involved in that you would like to talk about?
I would like to start off kind of, sort of chronologically. The first group that I was in that played live was Black Manta. That was in the fall of 1998,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a lot of fun for me, and it still is. We've regrouped a few times over the years. Hillel Holloway, the guitar player, I actually first became aware of him through the hardcore scene here in the DC area with Worlds Collide and Damnation AB. And I actually just had an opportunity to do a couple shows with Damnation AD on a East Coast mini tour that they just completed with Darkest Hour here a few weeks ago. And so that was great fun for me because Hillel and I go back pretty far. The music goes back even farther with me. So it was a great opportunity for me to play with those guys and a lot of fun.
Cool. Anyway, we are going to cut to a quick commercial break and we will be back. Oh, hey, Jim. It's certainly a nice day for a swim.
I just got done with work trying to get my second win.
I got the drink for you.
Thanks.
Need to pick me up? Continental Cola. Twice the caffeine with vitamins and minerals. Start your day over with Continental Cola. We are back from commercial break with our guest, Walter White. Anyway, we're going to get back to Deceased here. How's your experience been with Deceased?
Oh, Deceased, it's been a lot of fun. I started with them 6 years ago as a live bass player. The guy, Les Snyder, is still an active participant in all of the studio recordings. He actually just played on the new album, Ghostly White, on Hell's Headbangers Records. Came out. What was great for me with Deceased is that this is actually the first time I had been a part of a group that could actually tour. Toured all over the U.S. We toured Europe. We've been to South America and played some great crowds. So being the live guy is a lot of fun for me. To me, that's the fun part. I have had a handful of opportunities to record with the band, a split LP called The Figure of Uneasiness, as well as some cover tunes that we did, double covers album of all metal, punk, hardcore songs called Cadaver Traditions.
What are the feelings on stage like with performing, and how has that changed through time for you?
What are my feelings on stage performing?
Yeah, like, do you still get that rush when you go on stage?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, when I get up there, I just try to be in the moment. You know, I try not to let myself get too psyched up before a show. I just feel like I like to save my energy for when it's about to happen. And just get up there, be myself, have a good time, and just, you know, try to get into the moment of the energy and put a good show on for the crowd. You know, I'm a believer in when people go to see a band, they pay money to see a band live, you need to be doing something on stage.
Absolutely.
Not just looking at a bunch of dudes standing around. I try to bring that an energy to the stage that's going to be engaging to the audience.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. When you are gigging on the road with the band, what have the pros and cons been?
Wow. Well, you know, the first thing comes to mind is the con. You know, you're sacrificing some of your personal space here. You're in a van with usually, you know, 4 or 5 other sweaty dudes. You know, we get to splinter off a little bit usually once we arrive in town. You know, a couple of us will kind of splinter off and go off on our own. A lot of the time I'll go off and do my own thing. And which isn't to say that we don't get along with each other, but, you know, everybody needs their space away from people. Now, the great joy of being on the road is getting to meet new people, see what the scenes are like in other towns, see other bands. And as I said, when I get into a city that I've never been to, I like to get out and explore. And I enjoy that a great deal, just to try to get a feel for the place that I'm in.
Right. Now we are going to go to our public service announcement.
Disaster victims need your help. The American Red Cross provides victims of disaster with food, shelter, counseling, and more. Your support for the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund helps victims of thousands of disasters across the country each year. To make a donation, contact the American Red Cross today. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcross.org.
We are back again with our guest, Walter White. Anyway, one last question for you. What music gear are you currently gigging with?
Okay, well, last tour I did, my primary bass is I kind of go back and forth between BC Ridge, Warlock, and Ibanez sound gear. It just depends on the gig, it depends on the tuning. I like to use the sound gear. I mean, gosh, I like them both. So I use them both. Using a Ampeg B2R bass head, 350 watt solid state with Gensben's 410 cabinets. Pedals, I use all Boss pedals. I use the bass distortion, noise gate, and chromatic tuner. Pretty standard setup.
Yeah. Is there any other gear that you want to get in the future that you're thinking about?
Well, you know, I am kind of excited because I rarely buy new gear. I'm really frugal when it comes to purchasing gear. I don't think I've spent more than $400 on any one single bass guitar or head or anything. So I just got a Marshall 400 watt head that I'm excited to break in. A buddy of mine gave me a heads up, saw it, picked it up for me. So I'm excited to break that one in soon. Hope to make that part of my touring rig.
Excellent. Any last words?
Just want to say thanks again, Dan, for having me on the show. Look out for a new album from Deceased, Ghostly White, on Hell's Headbangers Records. Look it up. If you're in the Philadelphia area, check out the Decibel Metal and Beer Festival. It's going to be, April at the Fillmore. I'm going to say April 14th, that weekend, 14th through the 16th. A bunch of bands, us, Exhorder, Obituary is playing the entire Cause of Death album. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. I also want to say thank you for joining us. Make sure to check out Deceased. You know, like Walter said, there's going to be a link in the description below.
This has been a Dan Matheny production.
Make sure to click subscribe. Till next time, take care.